Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 28th of March 2021. Um, Today's subject is the buying and the selling of the human soul at the time of Muhammad and of today. To start, I'm sorry. Last video, few people commented and I didn't have the time to respond. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, let's start today's subject. We read in Quran in chapter 9 verse 60. There are a couple of words actually starting the verse. It sounds like fine and it's rather good, but this is like covering the poison with sugar, or putting poison in the honey. And I'm going to say why and how does that affect us today. All right, so zakat, it starts with the word zakat. Zakah is similar to the tithing in the Jewish and Christian tradition. You give 10% of your income. Okay. Zakah expenditure are only for the poor and the needy. I have no problem with that. If you are in a church or a synagogue and you give certain amount of money of your income for the poor and the needy, that's fine. But the word zakat, we will return to that. So the poor and the needy and those employed for that project, I have no problem with that. Like, let's say, for example, there are many charitable organizations and it's big, so you need employees, and not all the time these employees are volunteer, so they need to be paid on a regular basis. They get salary. I have no problem with that either. Okay. And their money has to come from that tithing or that zakat. And for bringing the hearts together for Islam. That is my problem. When you read it, bringing the hearts together, it means we should be united. And hey, is there any church or synagogue wants to be divided? No, so it's okay. But actually, let's elaborate on this, bringing the hearts together. Before that, we'll speak about the word zakah. Zakah is similar to tithing, but zakah is the tithing for the Muslim. They give 2.5% of their income to charity. Look, if you want to give 2.5%, 5%, 20%, 50% of your income to charity, hey, I have no problem with that, as long as you are doing it voluntarily. Okay? And many Muslims, especially in the past at the time of Muhammad, were giving zakat because they had no choice. They didn't believe in Muhammad, but they were forced to follow Muhammad. So they had to give zakat. That's very different from when you do it willingly because you want to help the poor. That's number one. Two, the looting and the stealing from those whom they have invaded. It goes to the same box. It goes to the same money, the same collection of money. So the 2.5% plus the looting goes to one place. And from this money, he give to the poor Muslims and the needy Muslims and to those whom you bring the hearts together. Who are these people? I mean, even if you are stealing, doing like Robin Hood and stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, is bad. But we can let it pass, let's say. Let it pass. But the looting and taking that from people who labored, let's say, generation after generation to cultivate a piece of land in a desert area, to make it productive, and take it from the people who have labored, who knows for how many generations, to make it productive so that they can live from that, and give it to the people whom you want to bring to your side, because it's a strong tribe and they have many warriors and they can help you more in fighting. I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. So this is like, putting the poison in the honey, starting giving the poor and the needy and those who you want to come to Islam. Many Muslims would actually say, no. But look, no. If you write this verse, if you Google it, or you put it on YouTube, unfortunately, all the videos I found, it was all in Arabic. And they are all Muslim leaders coming out trying to, how do you say that? To cover up, to smooth the edges about the filth here in this verse. Because what happened was Muhammad was actually bribing people, buying their mind by giving them money. Okay? If he cannot bring them by force, then okay, we looted this village today, give them that piece of land that the people were using to cultivate fruits and vegetables to survive on. Give it to them, and then you win them to your side. Then they pay zakah, and we're a bigger tribe now, and we can keep invading. That was the strategy, and we know of a guy, his name was Abu Sufyan. When Muhammad wanted to bring his heart to Islam, he gave him 100 camel, and he asked for more. He gave him another 100, and then he asked him for more for his son. I can't remember, he gave him 50 for his son. So let's say 250 camel. This is equivalent today at this time, like if you give a present to a person, 250 cars, even if it's an economical car, not the most expensive car, 250 cars present to somebody. No, that was buying the people who had influence, whether they were intellectual, so that they can speak well of Muhammad, or of great force, so that they can fight with him. So when you Google that, what happened was, during Muhammad's time, he told the people that I give you money, but join me. And then when he died, there was an incident that he promised certain group of people a piece of land that it is very productive. And so these people went to the first caliphate, Abu Bakr, to tell him, okay, give us the piece of land that Muhammad promised us. So Abu Bakr signed that, okay, go and get it. So they needed a witness from the Muslim people. Okay, so they went to Omar, the second caliphate. He was a strong guy. And they told him, okay, the Prophet Muhammad promised us this land. Abu Bakr gave it to us and he signed. We need you to sign as a witness. He took the papers, he erased the signature of Abu Bakr, and he got rid of the papers, and he told them, practically, go and bang your head against the hardest wall. You are getting nothing. Because we used to pay this money to the people to bring us to Islamic side when we were weak. Now we don't need to do that anymore like the Prophet. We are already strong. We have a strong army. Why should we pay anything? Get out of here. So they go back to Abu Bakr. What is going on? Are you the Khalifa or Omar is the Khalifa? So he told them, Omar is the Khalifa, to come out of that sticky situation. And that was the story. So practically, I mean, if it was part of the religion, you should continue doing it. You shouldn't, I mean, it's in Quran. How come Abu Bakr stops it? I'm sorry, Omar stops it and Abu Bakr agrees to it. They were buying the human mind. They were buying the human mind. Okay, today, if we remember the Arab Spring in 2011, the Islamic countries that had that uprising, I don't know exact detail about, let's say, Yemen, Syria, Libya. I don't know exactly what happened, the little details, but I know in Egypt, once that Arab Spring started, the Islamic movement took over the Muslim Brotherhood, and to gain votes, they started to buy the mind of the Egyptian people by going house to house, okay, giving free food, oil, I heard also potatoes, sugar, rice, all kind of goods, so that they can buy the vote. Okay? Thank God that guy got kicked out. I mean, the current administration, I don't agree with it so much, but it is better than Muslim Brotherhood. Okay? Anyway, they were buying the mind of people. Why am I saying that? Because what happened, what Muhammad established, was also repeated in the socialist countries. Okay? Egypt, when it was socialist in early 60s, late 50s, 1950s, early 60s until the late 70s, probably late 70s, I'm not sure exactly when, there was buying of the human soul. President Nasser of Egypt, he was a socialist. So he established that system. I give you monthly portion of food every month, but zip it. I don't want political opinion. I am the dictator here. I am to say what to be said, And that was the case in Egypt and in many other Arab countries, Muslim countries. Shut up. We're giving you food. As Henry Kissinger said, food can be used as a weapon. So people used to go and you had an identification card for that food. You go and get your amount of rice, amount of butter, amount of whatever, tea and coffee or whatever you need every month. Otherwise, you'll starve. Okay? So that was happening in Egypt, in the former Soviet Union, in many socialist countries. Now, what's happening today in the West, let's say in European countries as well as the United States of America, practically the same thing. Corona. I mentioned before that I got infected with corona. My wife was infected with corona. Everybody in my house was infected with corona. Hardly anybody stopped working. I didn't know that I got it. Catching cold actually is worse for me. Okay? But they make big deal of it because it is a way to control. And now, with that stimulus bill in the United States, what is this? This is the buying of the human soul. It's a step to change America and the West from free society to a socialist society where it is an oligarchy system ruled. Few people on top, and we should shut up. Look what YouTube is doing. Look what Google is doing, Facebook, Twitters, and so on and so forth. They censored the president of the United States. They don't want him to talk because he's talking. And I am expected to, even though my channel is small, those who speak, they will be silenced. And the reason is there is an agenda to turn the whole world into that system, socialist system. The crackdown on gun owners, because if you have guns and you arrange to be a militia, you are big trouble for them. And many of the military people that they will try to use to crack down on citizens, when they see that the American people are fighting back, many will say, no, I'm not going to shoot at American citizen. No. So there is a danger here. But if they take away this weapon, then there is a chance that they can apply that socialist system easily, as it happened in the former Soviet Union, as it happened in China, as it happened in Venezuela, in North Korea, in any socialist country. People cannot fight back. So they bribe them first, buying their soul. We'll give you food, we'll give you your necessity. You can sit home. Don't worry. You don't need to work. There's corona going on. Stay home. We'll give you $1,000 or whatever, so that you can barely survive. I'm saying that because I see that. I can see what happened in Islam, what happened in Egypt when I was growing up, and what's happening today in the West, in Europe and in America. I mentioned that before. We really have to stand up. Share this. Talk to your friends. The time is dire. explain to them what's going on. We appreciate your attention. We wait for your response. Thank you very much.